about it. Just the fact that you ain't pissed off on how awful this team looked just showed me you ain't S. I mean, they coming on strong. You be sorry, B.A. Excuse of a fan and a blogger. How in hell did I ever subscribe to your sorry A excuse of ball talking? Woo, woo. They coming on strong. They coming on strong right here. Listen to this person. UB said, this team was playing defense, question mark? What in the H are you watching, bro? Oh, hey, no. You lost me with your sorry A.
That's the comment that started it all. You're a sorry excuse of a fan and a blogger. Someone subscribed to this channel, watched the Fever lose to the Golden State Valkyries, and decided the breakdown wasn't angry enough. The accusation? That saying the Fever played defense at all meant you weren't even watching the game. But what comes next is a frame-by-frame teardown of that exact claim.
Gave me a bunch of nothing. I already have somebody who's a member of the channel named Timothy, so your name would be Riley in this one, all right? Riley. Guy said, dude, your analysis is tainted by your superficial take on this game, your lack of insight into the structural problems with this team and organization. You said that the Fever passed on open looks, passed too much, and had too many CC turnovers. Now, mind you, I did not say too many CC turnovers. I said CC turnovers in this game were hers. That's what I said.
Then comes the second critic. A channel member named Timothy, writing under the name Riley, drops a full essay calling the analysis tainted and superficial. The core charge is that the Fever have structural problems that will sink them every single game unless the roster changes. No reason to be optimistic, he says. And that word, optimistic, becomes the whole fight.
This person said, I have nothing to be optimistic about. When we had a Raven get unlocked, which I've been saying, Raven, if you allow her to play through her mistakes, allow her to keep playing, she's going to get unlocked, and she did in this game. This person said, I have nothing to be optimistic about when we literally didn't even have Aaliyah Boston in the first half and still kept up with one of the best teams, if not the best team in the WNBA. This guy said, I had nothing to be optimistic about when we literally kept up with a team, the best team in the WNBA, and we shot like crap.
Here's the rebuttal, and it leans on what actually happened in the game. Raven Johnson got unlocked, scoring while playing through her mistakes. The Fever stayed step for step, with one of the best teams in the WNBA without much of Aaliyah Boston in the first half. And they did it while shooting terribly. Keeping pace with the league's top team on a cold shooting night isn't nothing. That's the case for optimism the critic refused to see.
Let's get more into this, right? Limiting her minutes to way less than other star players receiving. Do you know how many minutes she played in this game, my good sir? She played 29 minutes. She averaged 30 minutes right now, right? And guess who else played 29 minutes? Gabby Williams. Guess who else played 29 minutes? Veronica Burton. Like what? But she's somehow not getting as many minutes as other stars.
Now watch the minutes argument fall apart. The complaint was that Caitlin Clark gets fewer minutes than other star players, that Stephanie White is breaking her rhythm. The number? 29 minutes, right at her 30-minute average. Gabby Williams played about the same. Veronica Burton played about the same. And Clark was dealing with a back injury. The math doesn't support the outrage. Then there's the contradiction nobody caught. The same critic claimed White hates hero ball and star players, then complained she wasn't setting screens to relieve Clark. But hero ball is iso ball. You can't accuse a coach of hating isolation offense and in the same breath demand more of it. Pick one.
I wanted them to have more size, right? I can agree with that. I did want them to have 6'4", 6'5" at that 4 position. I wanted to stretch 4. But you know where you really sound crazy? Is the fact that you said improve their interior offense. You know how many points they scored in the paint? My good sir? Let's look at it. I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. I like to bring facts and stats, my guy. 40 points in the paint. Do you know the average in the WNBA? It's between 30 and 40. Look how many points the Valkyries scored, and they're taller than us, right? They have more size than us. They scored 42 points. What are we talking?
The conspiracy theory is where it gets wild. The claim is that Stephanie White is deliberately phasing Caitlin Clark out, replacing her with Raven Johnson so the Fever won't have to pick up Clark's contract option. There's just one problem. In the game in question, Raven Johnson got pulled, And Caitlin Clark, the player with the highest usage rate in the entire WNBA, was the one who closed it out. You can't phase out the player you put in to finish the game. And the interior offense complaint collapses under the stat sheet. 40 points in the paint. The WNBA average sits between 30 and 40. The Valkyries, the taller team, scored 42. The Fever weren't getting bullied inside. They were right at the top of the league.
Mo actually made a good bucket here as you drive down, boom, good bucket. All right, now let's go to the next one. Now, let's pay attention to this one. It's going to be a ghost screen by AB, and you're going to see Caitlin starting to pay attention to the corner. Watch this. This is a quick adjustment. She's coming with the screen. They're thinking she's screening. It's a ghost screen. Nothing wrong with this. They're trapping. So they're not even looking to protect the roll. So ghost screening is fantastic at this point. This is great offense. All right, this is great game planning. You get the ghost screen. Caitlin could have threw it right here. Let me draw it up. Caitlin could have threw it right here. Now you had a mouse in the house come in here.
This is the heart of it. The accusation was that the Fever passed up open shots and overpassed, and that it was 100% the coach's fault. So here's the film. The Valkyries built their entire defensive game plan around trapping Caitlin Clark, doubling her on every pick and roll to get the ball out of her hands. So the Fever stopped setting solid screens on purpose. Why screen when the trap is coming anyway? Just ghost it, get 2 defenders on the ball, and attack the corners they leave open. Clark skips it cross-court to Kelsey Mitchell. Wide open, the shot just doesn't fall. That's not a coaching failure. That's a make-or-miss league on a miss night.
We saw how hot Raven got. This is enough space to pull the shot. But what does she do? She hesitates, and she throws it to the wing. So you telling me that's Stephanie White's fault? That's Stephanie White's fault. Why she didn't shoot that? She's trying to run this play with Kelsey Mitchell. This is what I mean when I said they were hesitant, being pensive, right? Not taking the shot when it was open. Hold on, it's not over though. It's not over. Kelsey, she's gonna drive in, kick it to Allen. This is a wide open shot. You give me Passat, you give me any stretch four, they're pulling this. Okay, somebody that's confident in their three, they're pulling this and they're knocking this down. That's enough space. As a pro, you're not even seeing this. All you see is rim. That's it. Rim and backboard. That's all you seeing, dog. But watch what happens. Oh, nope. I'm going with the hezzy, and I'm going to drive in, and I'm going to pull this instead. Come on, man. That's not Stephanie White's fault.
And this is the moment that ends the coaching argument completely. The play breaks down. Raven Johnson, the same player who'd been hot all game, ends up wide open with enough space to shoot. She hesitates, she passes it up. Then Kelsey Mitchell drives and kicks to Aaliyah Boston for another wide open look. And Boston goes with a hesitation drive into the rim instead of taking the open three. You cannot pin a player declining an open shot on the coach who drew up the open shot. That's a confidence issue, a skill issue, a trust your shot issue. Stephanie White generated the look. The execution is on the floor. Over and over, the film shows the same thing. Clean offense, good reads, open shooters, and shots that simply rim out.
Here come the pass. She gets it, right? You have Kelsey Mitchell here to kind of slow her down. You have Mo coming, but watch this beautiful play. This is why they're running the switches. Look at this. You didn't even see that, did you? You didn't even see that, did you? Caitlin Clark is so smart on defense, dog. She knows how to get that ball out of players' hands. She's watching it. She's tracking it. When somebody is coming from the low point up, she's tracking it. And she's going to get a hand on it 9 times out of 10. Boom, a poke. That's a steal. And now we're off to the races. Once again, Caitlin Clark playing some fantastic passing lane defense. And I know a lot of people are against the switching, but that's the Indiana Fever's best defense in my opinion.
Now flip to the defense, because the original insult was that no defense was played at all. Watch Caitlin Clark on the switch. The Valkyries try to exploit the mismatch with an entry pass to the post, and Clark reads it, tracks it from the weak side, and pokes it loose for a steal. This is the Fever's best defensive look, switching everything and letting Clark feast in the passing lanes. The Valkyries took advantage of those mismatches maybe 3 times all game. 3. They had the league's best defense, and the Fever had them so spooked they wouldn't even feed the post against a size advantage. That's not a team getting torched. That's a team forcing the best defense in the WNBA into hesitation.
Stuff up, man. Let's move into some BS calls, man. Look at this. This is a BS call right here. Lexi just guarding up, and then Veronica once again, is going to give you this, oh, I'm falling. Look, nobody even touched her. Nothing happened, dog. Let's go back. I want to make sure y'all see that. Hands up. No touch. No reason for her to fall. And of course, you're going so fast and you just fall like that, the refs are bound to just say, yeah, she got fouled. Man, look, Lexi was vertical. Nothing happened there. Now you're going to see another BS call here where Kelsey Mitchell was called for the charge. How we charging when somebody jump and attempt to block a shot? Let's take a look at this. So you're going to see a me here. I'm going to go slow. You're going to see a me here. She's going to jump here. Look, she literally jumps to contest this shot, but somehow it's an offensive foul. Somehow that is an offensive foul.
And then there's the officiating, which is its own story. Veronica Burton drives, no contact, and falls anyway, and the whistle blows. Kelsey Mitchell gets called for a charge when the defender literally jumped to contest the shot. Then the flopping starts in earnest. An arm thrown back with no extension, no contact, and a foul gets called. Watch the hand-checking inconsistency, because this is the smoking gun. Kelsey Mitchell gets whistled for a hand on the hip during a jump shot. But Veronica Burton has her open palm planted on Clark's waist, riding her all the way up into the release, and there's no call. Same action, opposite whistle. You can't officiate one as a foul and ignore the other.
No foul was called. You see Hines Allen like, she slapped my hand. Come on, man. What are we talking about? This was not a straight-up game, man. And the Valkyries knew it. They knew they couldn't beat the Fever straight up, so they had to try to flop. They had to try to do these little plays where we're slapping hands and holding people. They had to do it, dog, in order to get this game. But I have nothing to be optimistic about. When you had a best team having to do this to your team, come on, man, stop it. Once again, I don't mind people having different opinions than me, but don't come out here braggadocious, holding your chest out, trying to call me out on what I'm saying when you're wrong on a lot of things that you're saying. Well, you don't look like a pro at all on what you're saying, dog. But anyway, man, I love y'all. Y'all keep it smooth.
So let's bring this all the way home. Because the critics walked in with bravado and walked out with their entire case dismantled point by point. The charge was no defense, no optimism, no excuse for the loss except Stephanie White. The film says otherwise on every single count. Start with the optimism the critics said didn't exist. Raven Johnson got unlocked playing through her mistakes. The Fever stayed neck and neck with one of the best teams in the WNBA while shooting cold and missing Aaliyah Boston for stretches of the first half. They hung with the league's top team on a night their shots wouldn't fall. That's not a reason for despair. That's the entire reason for hope. Take the minutes conspiracy. 29 minutes for Caitlin Clark. Right on her 30-minute average, the same neighborhood as Gabby Williams and Veronica Burton. And all of it while Clark managed a back injury. The idea that she's being shorted relative to other stars just isn't in the numbers. Then the contradiction that exposed the whole essay. You cannot claim a coach hates hero ball and star players, then demand she run more isolation screens to free that same star. Hero ball is ISO ball. The argument ate itself, and the phase-out theory, the claim that White is swapping out the highest usage player in the WNBA to dodge a contract option. The same game that supposedly proves it ends with Raven Johnson on the bench and Caitlin Clark on the floor closing it out. You don't hand the final possessions to the player you're trying to erase. Look at the interior complaint. 40 points in the paint, top of the WNBA's 30 to 40 range, 2 points behind a taller Valkyries team. The Fever weren't soft inside, they were efficient. Now the offense that was supposedly 100% the coach's fault. The Valkyries trapped Clark on every pick and roll, so the Fever ghosted their screens, forced 2 on the ball, and generated open corner looks all night long. Clark skipped passes cross-court for clean threes. Raven Johnson got wide open and passed it up. Aaliyah Boston drove past open jumpers. The looks were there, the makes weren't. That's execution, not scheme. The defense the critics said never showed up. Clark reading entry passes on the switch, poking the ball loose, racing the other way. Highsmith and Boston swatting shots at the rim. Kelsey Mitchell jumping passing lanes. The Valkyries, with the best defense in the league, so rattled they wouldn't even attack a mismatch more than a handful of times. And the whistle that tilted the floor. Flops with no contact rewarded. A charge called on a defender who jumped to block a shot. Hand checks ignored on one end and punished on the other. When the best team in the WNBA has to lean on theatrics to hold off your squad, that tells you exactly how close this game really was. So here's the question, and I want a real answer in the comments. If a team can stay step for step with the best in the league while shooting terribly, missing wide open looks, fighting a Caitlin Clark back injury, and battling the officiating all night, Is that a team with no reason for optimism? Or is that a team one good shooting night away from beating anyone? You watched the same film I did. Tell me which side you're on. Like the video, subscribe if the breakdown made sense, and let's settle this in the comments.